Hey, it's Miss Pritzel, and I am book talking a new fantasy book called League of Liars by Astrid Scholte. I just recently saw an interview with her, a very short interview, talking about this book, and I thought it was Scholte, but she pronounces it Scholte, so I'm going to go with how she pronounces her own name. All right, so this is described as a fantasy adventure slash jailbreak. And I think that's partly to capitalize on the Lee Bardugo's Grishaverse, which I think is on Netflix, um, and her Six of Crows duology, which is an adventure that includes a jailbreak. So while this book is not quite as intricate, I did enjoy this book quite a bit. So this is set in a world where there's a magic called Edom, and anybody can draw the Edom magic from the shadows. So in order to not have the magic around, if there's lights and sunlight and all this stuff, like in the jail, everything's lit. There's no shadows anywhere. So it's kind of cool that anybody can draw magic, but it is also illegal for you to use the Edom magic. So not every country in the world has this Edom magic, so it's kind of considered like an invasive thing. And there's a lot of curiosity surrounding what is the Edom magic, why is it happening in this place, and this country has been cut off from its neighbors because of this. So this is told from 4 points of view, although you start out mostly with Caden. Caden's father is an official in the government. His mother was also an official. She was sort of like an FBI agent, I would guess I would call her, because she was one who went out and investigated Edom crimes and kind of followed through on things like that, investigated the crimes, but didn't necessarily prosecute the people. And then Caden also has a sister, Lita, who this comes in. So because of his mother's murder, Caden has become very like, I want to be a prosecutor, I want to prosecute Edom crimes, but in order to become a good prosecutor, he is actually apprenticing with a public defender, which means somebody who is defending the people who've used Edom. So he is working in the jail with this public defender, and he meets Jay. So that's the second character's point of view that you get. Jay is accused of killing his father. We know that he's on the run. The first chapter of his kind of ends with a cliffhanger, and the next time we see him, he is in jail where Caden meets him. And like I said, Lita, Caden's sister, she believes there's more to her mother's death than what they've been told. She believes there's more to Edom than what they've been told. And she's kind of studying it, and she goes to this town where her mother was killed, trying to figure things out. Well, the town has this massive fire, and all the people are killed, and the town is totally destroyed. So Lita ends up on trial for this murder, for all these murders. And, so all these people are ending up in jail. The fourth point of view in this is Princess Eleonora, I think it is, Eleanor or Eleonora. And her brother is the king because her parents were killed by Edom terrorists. And so he became the king quite young, and she's been accused of murdering the king using Edom. And there's a lot of shenanigans going around because nobody knows that the princess is in jail, and the people who are set to defend her end up being killed, and her trial keeps getting put off. And so like I said, there's a group in the government that's basically trying to take things over. And there's a lot of things, like I said, as I was reading this, I'm like, are they going to be able to wrap this all up? And by the time I got to a certain point, I'm like, there's no way there's going to have to be a second book. And when it ends, you're like, yeah, there has to be a second book. Now, apparently when this book came out, there wasn't this, oh yes, this is book one of a duology or a trilogy or anything like this. There was just kind of shortly after it came out, there was an announcement, oh, there's going to be a sequel. Like, yeah, there's got to be a sequel because otherwise you leave us on this big cliffhanger. So it is advertised in many places as a jailbreak, and I had written that down, and then I read it, and I'm like, yeah, it does involve a jailbreak, but there's a lot of stuff that comes before the actual jailbreak. So, but that's true in Six of Crows, Lee Bardugo's Six of Crows as well. The jailbreak doesn't happen right away. So I did enjoy this book quite a bit. Like, it is definitely fantasy adventure, and I just was very curious about what's going on with the Edom magic. There's a lot more to this. There's a lot that comes out at the very end of the book that you're just like, okay, there's something really going on and you want to know what's going on. So I'm looking forward to the next book coming out, but if things are the way they are in the book publishing world, it's rarely do we see the second book any sooner than a year after the first one is published. And so sometimes it's even longer. So I'm hoping we will see it within a year of the publishing. I don't know what the exact publishing date of this book was, but it was 2022. So we definitely won't be seeing a second book until 2023 or later. So I hope you come in if you like fantasy, if you like adventure, if whatever you're into. It's my job to keep everybody reading, and I really, really enjoy helping people find books that you are going to like. Have a fantastic day and keep on reading.